The earlier proposed plans of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives to embark on indefinite nationwide strike, which was to be announced on August 30, 2023 at the National Executive Council meeting of the association in Abuja, was cut short by the uninvited appearance of the two ministers of the Federal Ministry of Health. Speaking on why they appeared at the meeting uninvited, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ali Pate, said their uninvited appearance at the meeting was the representation of the values and appreciations that President Bola Tinubu had for the medical practitioners in Nigeria.
Official invitation, but we thought to invite ourselves. It was so an important convening, and we thought we should not just hear it, that all the nurses and midwives and leaders in this country are here in Abuja, and the two of us will not have a chance to come and say hello. The appreciation that the President of the Federal Republic, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his administration, given where we are, it's not an easy time in our country, but the President gave us the mandate and encouraged us to do everything that we can. There's the health workforce, and you are the health workforce. Nurses, midwives, doctors, pharmacists, lab scientists, everyone is of value. And that recognition is why we had to rush from our offices to come and just see you and thank you. And thank you for your services to the millions of Nigerians who are suffering from all kinds of ailments that you and your members are taking care of. On behalf of the federal government, I want to convey that, and I'm sure that you are going to feel fulfilled by virtue of what you're doing to the people, because nobody gets to be a health worker.
Also lending their voices on the suspended strike, the National President of National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Comrade Nachi Michael, and others executive members of the association explained the reason for the nationwide proposed strike and its suspension.
The question is, why are they leaving? A lot of them look at conditions of services. This service, that the issue of removal of subsidy has already eroded the take-home pay of an average nurse and average Nigerian worker. We expect, Honorable Minister, that the nurses and midwives of Nigeria, if that is not enough, we will ensure that the health sector is continually peaceful. And we will also expect that that will improve the economic status of our nurses and midwives in Nigeria.
And midwives of Nigeria have agreed to not issue ultimatum for strike. They are putting the Nigerian people first, and all the issues that they have put on the table, we will collaboratively look at how we can fight away from.
This unscheduled visit of the Honorable Minister of Health has demonstrated in practical terms that he is ready to reform the health sector. You will agree with me, and every Nigerian knows that there are a lot of crises in the health sector because of the combination of professionals, different professions. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have pharmacists, we have lab scientists and other professions, and there are a lot of issues. But honestly speaking, I have never seen this. I'm highly amazed and impressed. Honorable Minister coming to our meeting without an invitation. Honestly speaking, I feel happy. I feel honored, and every Nigerian nurse now have hope that this current minister means business. Honestly speaking, we have suffered a lot. We have a lot of pressing demands, and nursing profession is unique and special, and our union has been very, very patient for quite a long period of time. So many times we plan for nationwide strike action, but when we look at the consequences of that strike action, we step down the strike. And the government, the previous government are taking that for granted. But sincerely speaking, this time around we mean business, and we decided to give this current government ultimatum. But because of this special visit, I call it special, we decided to shelve the strike and open another door for discussion.
It is indeed a very good signal. This is a very good signal in the healthcare industry in Nigeria in particular. Let me first of all congratulate all Nigerian nurses for taking their position in healthcare industry, because this has really signifies how important they are. Because I coming of the two honorable ministers to this very particular NEC meeting, National Executive Council meeting, it's a kind of a clear signal to show the position they occupied in healthcare industry. Number two, when we look at their comment is fully loaded with a lot of information. Based on the speech they presented in the floor of NEC, shows that they are here to appreciate Nigerian nurses, and they are here to extend their hand of fellowship for good mutual working condition in Nigeria. They are here to register their presence. They are here to appreciate, to equally tell Nigerian nurses that they are ready to move the healthcare industry forward. This is indeed a very good signal, and I want to assure you that based on the information, based on the discussion we had in the floor of NEC, plus their coming, shows that yes, there is hope, and the hope of rejuvenating healthcare industry in Nigeria is very close.
With all indication, I would say that this is the very first of its kind that Honorable Minister of Health is barging into our meeting uninvited, just to thank and solidarize with the leaders. From what he said that he heard we are having our leadership meeting, NEC meeting, National Executive Council meeting, and he decided to come and say, welcome to Abuja, without invitation. So I won't say that Honorable Minister haven't done that. We'll take all we've discussed here for a ride. Like you heard our General Secretary say that before now, we decided to issue a strike warning that will commence in 21 days' time. But because of their coming, we decided to shade off that action. So we are very optimistic with all the Honorable Minister have said to us that in no distant time, new era, new page will be open in health sector.
Today's meeting is very, very important, and to mark it all, the coming of the honorable ministers, because this NEC meeting, that's National Executive Council meeting, comprises of meeting with all the state leaders, that's the chairman and secretaries of the 36 plus Abuja, that's 37 of the association, because this association has our council, state councils in all the states, and so the leadership of this association and the councils are all here, and this is the highest decision making body of the association. Whatever is agreed, deliberated upon and discussed here is what is passed to the nurses, is passed to the government, and passed to the public. So today's meeting is so important, and we are so glad that it was graciously graced by these two honorable ministers of health, who humbled themselves to grace this with their presence, because coming down to this level with us now and hearing our demands, is going to give us confidence. And you can see it that already yesterday, this meeting started yesterday, and it's to end today. But yesterday a decision had already been taken. We were just waiting. After today's meeting, we'll have sent communique out, and then we'll send circulars out to all the state councils that arising from the NEC meeting. This was the decision taken for our nurses to comply it right from the state, from the local government, and all over federal health institution. But you can see that by coming down to this level, honestly, it has given this NEC in session power to shelve down this action while we await these ministers to take up our demands. Most importantly, as we all listen to, was this issue of enhanced salary structure for nurses, a specific peculiar salary structure for nurses that will capture peculiar core professional allowances that are specific for nurses and midwives in Nigeria. Because these are the only motivations we need to give nurses at times like this, when people are moving to outside countries for greener pasture, because we need to appreciate those who have decided to remain in Nigeria to serve our fatherland in the midst of all the hardship, in the midst of all that we are going through. And so this comment is very timely. You also know that because of this subsidy removal and the lack of palpable palliative, we are already working under a very difficult situation, that the possibility of going on a strike action was inevitable. But this prompt coming of these ministers has helped a lot, and we are going to give them time while we follow up on this demand, so that we'll see what the government is able to bring to table, so that it can lay to rest most of these agitations. So indeed, it's a very important meeting today.
Well, we really appreciate his coming. That means we have leaders that has the heart of the people at mind, people that are ready to make changes for this nation, not waiting until when you are when there is trouble or there is problem on ground before you start meeting people. And knowing the fact that nursing is a very, very important profession in this nation, because health is wealth. Without health, you cannot live a healthy life. So his coming here today has actually brought a lot of glamour, a lot of, telling us that we have leaders today that are ready to listen and hear us and take action on some of the agitations we have at the back of our mind. And because of him, a lot of things has changed. And we believe that shortly and very, very soon, some of the things that we are putting forward to the government, something positive will be done about it. Well, to the glory of God, God has helped us tremendously in Ogun State. Some of the things that looks like a hard nut to crack, God has done it for us during this regime of Governor Dapo Abiodun. For instance, at the local government service commission in Ogun State, the last time employment was done was 2006. And to the glory of God, this our present governor has been able to, give room for employment to be done. And as I'm talking to you, the number has risen from 165 to 349. So I give it to our governor for breaking the truce and, giving more room for more health professionals to come on board at the local government level. At the same time, we know that we still have shortage of manpower due to the fact that a lot of nurses were traveling out of the country for better job opportunities and things like that. And in all our hospitals in the hospital today, whether hospitals management board, Ministry of Health or whatever, all the teaching hospitals, we still have shortage of manpower. We are still appealing to our government to please employ more qualified personnel to work in these places. Because even if you build skyscrapers everywhere and you don't have proper personnel in place, all the things you have will come to nothing. So we need more personnel because of this Japa syndrome that is affecting everybody.
Your name?
The National President of National Association of Nigeria Nurses and Midwives, Comrade Michael Nachi, urged the federal government to urgently do the needful as its suspension of the proposed nationwide strike was temporary. Mary Leonard, ENtv, Abuja.